What's AIDS? I've been doing a whole lot of video essays as of late, so let's take it way back into a commentary video. And as in way back, I mean June. The year is 1988. Freddie Mercury's been diagnosed with AIDS for a year. Shh, no one knows that yet. Poof, magic! Today we're going to be watching a video called What is AIDS? In this video, a kid, his friend, and his dad go to a pizza place and talk about AIDS. The Cubs lose their baseball game because the main kid gets out. Ha, loser, he can't even get to first, but he's never even hit a dinger in his life. After they lose, the loser and his dad are gonna go get pizza, and out of the blue asks if his friend can go with. I don't know if they were just chilling in the dugout talking about how the one kid was gonna have pizza, but it just seems out of the blue and random. The friend also seems like he's not excited to get pizza. I don't know if this is because they just lost, but if I was his age, I was once, and was offered to go get pizza and talk about AIDS, I'd be ecstatic! They pull up to the pizza place and immediately get out of the car, and without any hesitation, the two kids decide to have a race. They don't say, hey, let's race to that pole over there. They just go. It's apparently an unwritten rule that you automatically know where to run to in a foot race. After they read the headline on the newspaper, they go inside, order a pepperoni pizza and some root beers. The kids are sitting waiting for the dad to come back with the root beers. When the dad comes back, the one kid is way too happy for his root beer to arrive.
What did you mean, AIDS is like a game you can't win?
Well, it's no game, let's get that straight.
It's no game, it's a lifestyle.
I just meant that it's a disease that there's no known cure for. If you get it, it develops fully, you die.
But they'll probably figure out a way to cure it real quick, huh?
I wouldn't count on it. I mean, it's worth hoping for, and they're working real hard at it, but I wouldn't count on it.
Why is it so hard to cure?
It attacks your own defenses. It's like when you get a cold. You know, there's no cure for a cold. But it's your own body's defenses, your immune system, that battles the germs and eventually returns you to health. Think of it as if you were playing baseball against a team of cold viruses.
This is the worst thing ever. The audio, the visuals, the music, all of it is bad, is really 80s.
At first, the germs seem to be winning. And the odds are you're not going to feel so great. But little by little, your body's natural defenses fight back and eventually win.
Yeah, go Cubbies! I knew you could do it. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Why can't you win with AIDS too?
Well, because the AIDS virus prevents the body from identifying who the enemy is.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Imagine that your body was a baseball team, and every one of your cells is a different player. There are special cells in everyone's body that have the job of identifying outsiders and saying,
hey, you don't belong here. Get out of here.
That's how the body deals with viruses and bacteria.
Your cells are verifying their roster. Look, everything looks good, everything looks good. Wait a minute. You? Get, shoo, scram.
I still don't understand why the AIDS virus just doesn't get thrown out too.
Yeah, I'd never let some other team's players sit in our dugout.
Well, I'm afraid with the AIDS virus, you wouldn't have much choice. And I'm afraid the problem also goes far beyond the dugout. It's as if all your defenses are blindfolded by the AIDS virus. Now, any germ on the block could beat you. For that matter, any germ could win the World Series. Because any little old virus, bacteria, cancerous growth can hit a home run, even on a bunt.
That would happen to me even if I wasn't blindfolded. I'm getting AIDS.
I still don't see why we can't just stop the AIDS virus in the first place.
Well, this virus is a tricky son of a gun. You know, it's like it doesn't play fair.
What do you mean?
Oh, how am I going to explain this? Imagine your body was a house, surrounded by a fence. The fence would represent your skin. It helps keep things out, but not everything. Our bodies are always under attack, as it were, by a variety of viruses and bacteria. They take advantage of weaknesses, like when we get a cut, in order to enter our body.
That's a really big and deep cut. If your cut is anything like that, big, gaping, and looks like a fence, go get it checked out.
Within our body, white blood cells are on patrol all the time. If they catch an intruder, a special kind of white cell, called a helper T cell, is able to identify it as a troublemaker Once the germ is positively identified, the helper T cell calls out yet another kind of white cell, called killer T cells, that are equipped to get rid of the troublemaker. Whenever you catch a cold, this is what's going on in your body millions of times until you're well again.
Oh no, there's a house in my tummy? This is like the watermelon all over again.
Then why doesn't the body get rid of the AIDS virus the same way?
Like I said, it's tricky. The AIDS virus fools the system, the immune system. If the AIDS virus gets into your body, and by the way, it can't do that easily, you have to be careless in order to let it in.
AIDS has to come in through the back door, if you know what I mean. You seriously not know what I mean? I'm talking about your ass.
But if it does get in, and it's caught by a white blood cell, it's subject to identification, just like any other intruder. This is when it pulls its big trick.
It pulls down the T cell's pants and runs away.
At this point, it actually becomes part of your defense system. When it comes in contact with the helper T cell, which is responsible for identifying troublemakers, it immediately invades the T cell and becomes part of it.
For this being made in the 80s, this transition was done surprisingly well. If you aren't looking at this critically, you probably didn't notice the slight camera shift like I did. If the camera didn't move between shots, this probably would have been done flawlessly.
It now allows all manner of bacteria, virus, and cancerous growth to run amok.
He's okay, let him go.
In this way, the AIDS virus destroys our natural ability to maintain our health. This is why the virus is so deadly. It doesn't kill you directly. It merely allows a lot of other things to kill you. That's why you don't want to play around with this virus. That's why you can't win.
That's pretty scary stuff.
You bet it is.
If I ever find out somebody has AIDS, I think I'm gonna stay about 10 miles away from them.
I wonder what he meant. You can't get it easily. It sounds to me like there's viruses and stuff crawling all over us.
Basically, what he's saying is you're never gonna get laid. Who would get laid with hair like that? Who would get laid with hair like this?
Well, now that we've heard all the bad news about AIDS, it's time to talk about the good news, huh?
There's good news?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course there's good news. It kills all the gays. That Freddie Mercury? Dead. Wait, you're not supposed to know about that yet. Shit.
It's preventable. That's the good news.
How?
Remember that house I was talking about? You know, with the fence around it.
Yeah, it didn't sound like that fence was doing very much good.
It needs a reinforced fence. A latex fence.
It does a pretty good job, along with the natural defenses of our body, when it's dealing with the virus and bacteria that are around all the time. But AIDS is different. See, AIDS isn't around all the time. And it can't just jump over that fence easily.
Well, then how does it get in?
As frightening as the AIDS virus is, for all the harm it can do, it can't get you. You have to go get it.
Ho ho ho, you have to get it all right.
The AIDS virus can't get through the gate unless you let it in. You see, it has to find a way directly from an infected person into your blood system. For that to happen, you have to engage in risky behaviors and be careless. That's like unlocking the front gate and inviting the virus in.
Come on, AIDS, come on over. We could have a movie night. We could watch Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan. There's gonna be popcorn and soda pop. What else could you want?
What do you mean, risky behaviors?
And being careless.
We see in the last few years, it's become clear that there are two major ways of getting AIDS. One is to have sex with someone who's infected with the virus. That doesn't affect you guys.
Yeah, it doesn't affect you guys, you fucking losers. Can't even get laid. I was swimming in puss by age 9.
And the other, which I hope doesn't affect you either, is taking illegal drugs and shooting them, in your arm with a needle. Because what happens, you see, is that people who do that, they share the needles. And when they share the needles, they share the virus.
That could have easily been shortened up to sharing needles. He didn't need to specify drugs. He could have easily gotten straight to the point. Plus, you don't need to specify shooting them into your arm. What else am I going to do with a needle full of drugs? Shoot them in my eyes?
Sex and needles, that's it?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, sex and needles. Avoid those two things, continue to do blood packs, and I won't get AIDS. Good to know.
By playing it safe and avoiding these kinds of behaviors, you're not at risk. The gate stays shut. The AIDS virus can't get in.
This gate is shut. I'm not getting AIDS. I'm not dying, baby.
So I couldn't get it from a glass or something like that?
No,
But what if someone sneezed on you?
same thing. And not to worry. You see, AIDS can't be transmitted casually. I mean, it might be sneaky, but it's not strong. And if it gets exposed to air, it can't live. So it's highly unlikely you're going to catch it from a drinking glass or touching somebody or getting sneezed on. It has to get from an infected person's bodily fluids into your blood system.
So if you gave blood, you could get it?
No, that's different. If you give blood or go to the doctor and get a shot, what they do is they take out a fresh, clean needle like this, and they use it, and when they're through with it, they throw it away.
That's a big ass needle. If I go to give blood and the doctor whips out that, I'm running the other way and saying, I don't need it.
Everybody's innocent when it comes to AIDS. It doesn't make you a bad person for contracting it, any more than it makes you a bad person for catching a cold.
I don't know. If I find out someone has a cold, I take them to town square, gather as many rocks as I can, and throw all the rocks at them, like they did in the olden days, baby.
But knowing how you get it and how you don't get it is really important. Because while fear should motivate us to be careful about what we do, it's important to remember that we don't have to be afraid of normal contact with people who carry the virus. After all, they need our help.
What can we do?
Maybe I could grow up and discover a cure or something.
There you go, that's possible.
Psh, you aren't even gonna get laid, let alone become a doctor, let alone cure AIDS.
If everyone our age grows up and knows about the virus, and we don't do risky things like drugs and stuff, then the whole thing could just probably go away, couldn't it?
That's possible, too. All right.
I'll be right back.
That pizza took way too long to come out. They got there 2 minutes into the video, and it took 10 minutes for the pizza to come out. The only reason I feel the need to point this out is because the restaurant is fairly empty. Unless there's a bunch of people to the dad's left, there's only 2 other groups there, and they ordered a pepperoni pizza, which is the most common type of pizza. The restaurant probably had some cooking or on some sort of warmer. So whatever pizza place these guys went to, I'm leaving a bad Yelp review. After this, I'd be really interested in seeing what the aftermath of this was. By this, I mean what the friend said to his mom when he got home. I can only assume it went something like this. "How was pizza, honey?" "It was good. The dad told me and the main kid all about AIDS." "He told you about what?" "AIDS. It's a disease you can only get from sex and needles." "Yeah, I know what AIDS is. Excuse me for a minute. I need to call the dad." I can only assume it went something like that. All in all, this video isn't bad. Even though I'm goofing on it, the thing that's goofy about this is the way it's executed. In watching this video, I learned a lot about AIDS itself, so it does its job in educating people. But the B-roll of the cells and the 80s acting is what makes this goofy. I don't know what they could have done in terms of making the cells look better, because it was the 80s and animation wasn't easily acceptable. The cells and the sounds are just off-putting. Before you say anything in the comments, I know I say acceptable. I meant accessible. If you say anything about it, I will ban you from my Minecraft server, so don't even try it. So yeah, that's it for this video. I don't know how to end this one, so it's done. Bye. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, bye.